How is that better, y'all? I think that is. No, because I can hear my cats now too. So, welcome to Reese Spot for all things art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in life through simple art projects. Oh, my cat is going to town out there. How is everyone today? Hello. Thanks for hopping on. Let me do one more. Let's see. Audio. I believe you can still hear me. There we go. Okay. How's that? Sorry. Whew. Well, just spread the joy. Thank you. Ah, always a little issue. So anyway, hello everyone. I have this real beautiful breadboard, and I'm going to paint a nice full design on it. Okay. So I have white. I'm using this chip brush. You don't really ever want to introduce um, water to your chip brush. I'm going to tap it off, and you can make your background as dark, as colorful as you want. I like when you use a chip brush and you kind of rub it off on the edges, and it makes the edges a little bit dark, like that. See how my edge comes nice and has like a frame to it? Okay. Alrighty. So now I did it, and I'm gonna do it. I'm not even gonna wash it because like I said, we don't want to introduce water to our chip brush. And I'm gonna come in here with a little bit of brown. Okay. Oh, I know. That might be better. Okay, so I am just lightly tapping my chip brush in here, get a little bit of paint, tapping it off, and then moving over to my project. So for those of you that are new to me here, I pop the link in there for my free group. I do a complete painting in there. Once it is tomorrow. It is a really fun fall lantern with some pumpkins, and that'll be tomorrow night. All my classes in my group include a tracer and a supply list. So I am all about, there are art teachers, and that's okay, to each his own, or and artists who think a tracer is cheating. I'm not one of them, y'all. Sound is terrible. I feel like, who else is having a problem with the sound? Anybody? I feel like we should use all the tools that we need and that are available to us to have the most success with our project. And that's it. So whether it's a different kind of paintbrush or a tracer or a stencil, whatever it may be, they're there for us, right? I think we should use them. I mean, we're not Amish, and if we're going to build a house or put in another one or um, get a shred, we're going to use all the tools that are available to us, right? Right. So I'm just taking my chip brush and I like to vigorously wipe it off on paper towel when I'm done because I'm going to just stick it right back in there. I'm not going to wash this. I didn't put a lot of paint on it. I'm going to make sure it's nice and soft. I'm not going to wash it. I'm just going to stick it right back in my holder over there. So let me know if anybody else is having trouble with the sound. Okay. So now because I did this really rough and farmhousey, I can take my tracer I'm going to fold it up right underneath my flowers. I can take my tracer and just line it up right here on my board. I don't have to wait for it to dry underneath. Okay, I'm going to get a little piece of tape. I'm going to put down my tape. And I'm going to put this piece of graphite paper. And I'm just going to slip it right under there. And then you can grab a pencil, a stylus. You can even use the brush right here. And I'm going to start tracing in my pumpkins. Now, these are easy enough to do. But like I said, why struggle when you can use a tracer or a stencil or tools that make it easier for you to be successful in your art? And that's it. That's all I'm saying. So I'm just going to put in pumpkins. And I really do this for placement. So I'll put a small circle down here, and then here, and one here, and one here, and one here, because that's where my sunflowers are going to go. I'm not going to worry about the details up here. You can be as detailed as you want. I'm not going to worry about them. I'll paint them in later. I just have in my 3 pumpkins and then my sunflowers. I don't know if you can see them. I can see them. Okay. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to get rid of my tracing paper. I'm going to put this aside. Okay. So there we have the large one, the little one, and the blue one. Okay. And I'm going to get started with the one in the back. Oh, I have white out. Let me get a little tan. A little tan here. And this is Deco Art Fawn. If you guys have any questions or concerns, I will hop back in later and answer them if I miss them now. So feel free to pop them in the comments and I will come back later and answer. Okay, I have this little brush. It's about a 1/2 inch wide, maybe a little less, 1/4 inch wide. And I'm going to mix up some of this fawn and white because I want a really nice off-white color. I'm just coming over here to the side of my puddle with my white, and I just add a little bit of this fawn, and I'm going to come into my pumpkin. Now, when we paint our pumpkin or any other element that we need, we want our brush strokes to follow the curve, the shape of the design. So when I paint this pumpkin, all my brush strokes are going around. They're coming in, yeah, I'm curving the brush, curve, 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 because we want it to follow the shape of our pumpkin. Okay, then we have this other little section out here, and then we have this middle section in here. And this pumpkin is behind this little tiny one in the middle here. So, and this just right now, it is just the base coat. We're going to come back, we're going to add details. Obviously, we have to add our flowers. But for now, we're just painting in the basic shape and base coat of this one pumpkin. Each time I go back, I want to make my segments different shades. So I'm picking up different variations of either white or the tan. Okay, and I'm going to wash my brush. Oh, I have a little tip for you guys. So this is my paint water. So now I've been using, see it's sudsy? I've been using 2 cups. So I put a drop of dish soap in here. It helps clean my brush out. I just wipe it off a little bit and then rinse. And there we go. This way I don't have to worry about my yucky paint water. The soap helps wash my brush. And I rinse it off a little bit in my fresh water. Okay? So just a little tip for y'all. Like I said, I'm all about tips and tricks. I love helping you, where's my blue? Create some art that you are happy with and you feel successful with. Okay, what'd you guys do with my blue paint? don't see it. I'll get a different blue. I hate it. My favorite blue is Skyline. No, I don't know where it went. I use the Splinter blue. This will work. I know my blue is hiding somewhere, but that's okay. In order to turn out when I'm done. So, and again, the same thing with this. I'm going to use the same brush. Actually, I'm going to use this round brush because this is a, I use two cups too. See that? Let me do my that one. Oh, I'm a little frazzled. You guys, you start out, all ready to go, and I'm like, um, and then you have a little tech issue, and it throws me right off. But I persevere. I keep moving forward, but it does. Maybe you guys can't tell, but I do get a little discombobulated. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to this brush. I'm going to do this bigger pumpkin out here. It's also in the back. So I'm going to load my brush with both of these oranges, a candy orange and a spiced orange. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in here and I want to paint my segments different colors. I'm going to do that by lighting up and darkening up my segments. Thank you, we're cheerleader. A little yellow. Oops, too much yellow. That's okay. So again with the orange, and I am curving. Pick up a little yellow. My segments, I want them to be different shades. I will have them match as I go out. Here's another hint for you guys. Orange, yellow, and reds are very, very translucent. So if you're painting with orange and reds and you don't understand why you're not getting good coverage, it's because those paints in particular are very translucent. I don't know why. It is across the board. Basically, unless you were using like a really, really heavy body paint, an expensive, like fine artist paint, across the board, oranges, yellows, and reds are very translucent. So that's just something we have to deal with. Okay. So they will often need two coats. So in my soapy water, now into my fresh water. Isn't this a pretty cup, you guys? I got this on the website. It's called Natural Life. I got this on Natural Life. Don't chill it, y'all. It'll cost you way too much money. They have the coolest stuff and the most beautiful artwork on all their products. And it is actually a brush cup. You can go like that with a brush. Isn't that neat? But like I said, don't go to Natural Life, everyone. It'll cost you way too much money. I'm going to go to my round brush now. And I'm going to do this little tiny pumpkin we have in the middle. A lot of people think when you're painting a pumpkin and it's orange, it's one color orange, and you're just going to go in and put the whole thing. You want to make variations. You want to make your segments separate. You want to make your brush strokes separate because you want to see the different layers of the pumpkin. Sometimes, and I used to do this all the time, if I looked at a pumpkin, the pumpkin was orange. But as you paint and really start to look at stuff, you start to realize, is a pumpkin orange? Yes, absolutely. But there are so many different shades of orange and yellows and browns that there's a lot going on there than just orange. Okay, so I'm going to brush my brush. So these boards, if you missed at the beginning, nobody can hear me, and that was mine. These are from Restaurant Supply. They are beautiful, beautiful boards. They are actual cutting boards. You can use them on this side, clean them with, I wouldn't cut fish on it, but you can use it for bread, vegetables, whatever, and clean it with a damp cloth. And then you have this beautiful side for display in your home, on your counter. You can even put like a little fancy napkin on here and use it for a serving board. It's totally up to you. I have the link up above. You can grab yours today. I have them on special, these hand painted ones. Um, and then I even have some blanks. If you're interested in the blanks, let me know. You could just put blank in the comment and I can send you a link if you just want to order these cutting boards. The cutting boards themselves are, thing. I'd have to look. $10 or $11 just for the cutting board. So if you want the blank, let me know. They are 13 by almost 6. They're pretty decent size. Mm. And I just like the country effect of this palette and the colors on here. And I'm just going back in now for the second coat of my pumpkins. And paint in the middle section. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this orange out here for the next section. These are my two favorite oranges. These are pretty much the only colors I use for pumpkins. Uh, this spice pumpkin and this canyon orange. I love them. I love the deep colors of them. There's a gazillion oranges out there. These are the ones I choose to use. And then I'll just do this outer section. And again, we want to curve in all our lines to meet. There we go. If you're not in my free group, you guys, I have posted the link. It is a free group. I do a free painting in there once a month. It is usually live unless I have some kind of conflict, but I do always then post the video when I say, and you have access to it. And it stays in there. So the video stays in there. You can watch it anytime. All my lessons in my free group come with a tracer and a supply list. And the beauty of having the video is that you can pause it and start it and pause and start or paint it over or whatever you want to do. Okay? And that is free and the link is up in there. All right. Now I'm going to get my liner brush. I like to dip my liner brush in water first. I want my liner brush to be nice and well managed. I don't want it to have bedhead and be all over the place. So I dip in water, get a nice point on it. And I'm going to get some of my brown and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to match into the segments of my pumpkin and put in a stem. Okay. There we go. That's one stem. I did the same thing here. Oh, too much paint. So I'm going to come in here, match into the segment of my pumpkin, fill it in, and put in my stem. I'm not going to worry about a stem on the big one. The big one is going to be all covered with flowers. Right? So I just have those two stems. The easiest way to make a transfer onto a black canvas, you know how, okay, here's the question. This is the graphite paper I use ordinarily. You can buy this for black canvas. You can buy this where this is more of a white color and it transfers white lines onto your black canvas or your black background. So if you are working on a black canvas, if you paint a black canvas, something really, really dark, you can buy this. It is called white graphite paper for black canvas. Okay, there we go. All right, now I have these small circles. I'm going to come in here and I'm just adding in these little tiny circles. These are going to be the middles of my sunflowers. When I did these circles, I did them a little smaller than they were on my tracer because if I painted a circle and I don't like it, as I try to fix it, will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. This way, if I trace it on a little smaller to begin with, and I make my circle or whatever shape it is, the nose on a snowman, whatever, and it gets starts to get a little wonky, it's okay because as I fix it, it will get to be the size I need it to. So whenever I'm doing little elements like that, I will trace them on smaller. Okay. First thing. Second thing, if you see, I have put 5 centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In art and in floral arrangements, we like to have odds. Odds are supposedly more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Okay. So that's where we get the odd number from. So my 3 pumpkins, one, 2, 3, 5 sunflowers. Okay, just for the first part of the setup. Now I need a little bit of a different yellow. You know, guys, it's still bugging me what I did with my blue. If you guys see the camera, let me know. Start shouting it out. So now I have what's left of my. Look at this. I'll show you guys something. Look. Oh, no. This is yellow ochre. This is folk art yellow ochre. It's fairly dark. And then this is deco art yellow ochre. So sometimes you have to really be careful. Sometimes you have to look. So this one is much darker. I love folk art yellow ochre for the golden color when I do my sunflowers. Now I have this very little tiny flat brush. I'm going to double load it with both of these. And so this is folk art sunflower and folk art yellow ochre. I could actually use both yellow ochres for my sunflowers, and they would have a nice mix. So I'm going to turn my board when I do my sunflowers. I turn my board and I twist my brush a little bit. And every time I go back, I'm picking up both colors of paint on the corner of my brush and I'm adding in my petals. I'm going to do a second row of petals, but I'm going to do the first row of petals on all my flowers first, and then I will come back and do the second row. Okay. If you want to grab one of these beautiful cutting boards for yourself or as a gift, they are up there. I put the link up there in the comment section. And then I even have these blank if you want to grab some. I think they're like $10 or $11. I haven't made the listing yet. You're not obligated, but if you want the blank and you want me to send you the price, I can just pop blank to the comment section. They're really beautiful cutting boards, you guys. And I get them from, I don't get them from Art Supply. I get them from a restaurant supply. And each time I do a petal, pretty much, I go back and pick up more paint. And again, I am just doing the first row of my petals, and then I'll go back and add in a second row of petals to my sunflowers. I just wait for the first row to dry a little bit so you can tell when I layer them on. If you have any questions and I miss it because I am so into my painting, please leave them in the comments and I will come back. Okay? I'll come back and answer all your questions later. I love painting sunflowers. I will paint them on anything. Okay, so there's our 5 sunflowers and our first layer of petals. I'm going to wipe off my brush a little bit. When you get a little buildup on your brush, you want to wipe it off. I'm going to pick up some paint. Okay, then I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to start adding in petals between the ones I put. Just want our flowers to look a little fuller. More full. What is it? Fuller? You see this time around, I don't have to go back and pick up paint every time because it's the second layer and I already have the base layer and I have plenty of paint going on in there. So I can pretty much just keep going around and doing a few petals the second time around. Aren't they gorgeous, you guys? Good morning, good morning. Just going in. Sometimes if I start getting too light, then I'll only put dark on my brush. Sometimes if I start getting too dark, I'll just put light on my brush. I want a nice contrast with highlights and the dark shaded areas and the two different colors of our yellows. Okay. And now you see that I have kind of lost my centers. That's okay. I'm going to go into my liner brush and I'm going to come right back in here and I'm going to pounce my center back in. It's okay if you pick up a little light from the petals when you're pouncing it in. It just gives a little highlight in there. Our original centers were basically just for placement. So we knew we were going to put our sunflowers. And now we go back in and we add the centers over our petals so our centers really pop. Okay. There we go. All righty. Hey, girl. Hey. Okay. I'm going to get out a couple of greens. And we're going to start adding all the little details, you guys. We're going to see all of a sudden it's like, wow. Ah, no, that's not blue. Oh, here it is. You guys, I knew it. So this is oh my goodness. This is the blue I wanted versus this is the blue I used. This one was just a little bit deeper. I could have made this one deeper with a little bit of black, but I was being stubborn because I couldn't find this one. I look like I'm down in the back. Anyway, I digress. Okay. I hear ya. Okay. Back to my little tiny brush again. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get both greens on my brush. And I'm going to come in here and just add a few little leaves. And you can put as few as you want, and a few. Oh, I should do the little details of my pumpkins first before I put leaves in there. Let me just do these outer ones a little bit. Okay. So let's back it up. Put that in there. My liner brush. Get some brown. Because some of my leaves may touch over my pumpkin, I just want to come in here and do a little bit of detail on my pumpkins first. I'm using my line brush. I'm using 3 short strokes. Ooh, this one got a little bit straight, so I'll fix that. Um, can do brown still on this one. Our segments. This one up top, this tan one here. Okay. And then I'm just gonna go right into the white, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the white. Pull down from the top, pull up from the bottom. Some of it's a little whiter, some of it's a little darker, some of it blends more. But again, I'm always pulling up from the bottom and then down from the top. Going over my brown, but I don't want to completely cover my brown. Put a little highlight in the top of my stem. Okay, now I can go back to my leaves. Okay, 2 greens on my brush. Put 1 green on one corner, 1 green on the other corner, and I just kind of like blend them in. Okay, need a few more up here. How are we? We look good. So if you want to order these, you can scroll up. The link is in the tab up there. Special price for today only during this live. Or if you want the blank, I have the blanks and you can put blank in the comments. If you're watching this on August 23rd, 2023, and I will give you the information about the blanks. Okay. All right. Wash that. And I'm going to go back to my liner brush. And I'm going to do a little bit of greenery out here. We just want to add some height. I'm using both greens again. Adding, just dipping and dipping. We want to add a little bit of height and width to our design here. And so I'm just pulling out these little, like, vines, branches, strokes, whatever. And then I'm going to go in with my greens, and I'm just going to start adding in leaves. I want my leaves to go in a V shape, and I want them to follow the curve of my branch, my vine, whatever it is. Thank you, everyone. And don't forget, if you have any questions, I will come answer them later. Sometimes it's hard to answer and paint at the same time. Believe it or not, it's hard to talk and paint at the same time. But I got over that. I'm just adding in. Thank you, Patty. These little strokes. I just want to mix up the green. So if you get to the point, like again, if you have too much dark, not enough light, just go add the other one. On these particular branches, I like them to line up. I'm turning my wood. I want them to be on an angle. I think I have to add another one there, and they make a little bit of a V. And all I'm doing is using my liner brush and going back and forth on each side of the branch. and pulling in the branch. If your liner brush has nice hair on it, I think it up here. If your liner brush is nice and thin and you pull in, your leaves will be thinner at the branch naturally because you lift up than they are at the top. So there we go. I'm going to give this a wash. I'm just going to add a couple of little yellow like daisies. What's on? Oh, we're so good on time today, you guys. All right. So I think I want. No, I'm going to use this sunflower. I'm going to come in here with my liner brush, and I'm just going to add in these little flowers. And I'm using my liner brush. I'm just laying it down, and I'm pulling all these little tiny strokes to the center. It doesn't look like much now, but I will show you. Sometimes I like to do it like a clock, so then I know it's all even spaced. So I'll show you that as well. So I will come up here and I will do, need to spot it's dry. 12, 6, 9, 3, and then I'll just do 1, 2. I'll do up here. 10 and 11, 7, 8, and then what's that? 3, 4, and 5. Do another one here. They don't have to have the same exact number of petals. These are just little simple daisy flowers. And I'll put another one up in here. It's nice to have them overlap a little bit. And it's tiny, tiny little strokes with the head of my liner brush. And then I'm going to use the back, the handle of my paintbrush and dab in the center. Okay. And then last but not least, thank you everyone. I'm going to come back up here, my dark green alone, and I'm going to add stems into my flowers. I let the, not my flowers, into my leaves. I let them dry a little bit. So this way, when I come back with this fresh green, only the dark green, it makes a contrast and you can see it. And there we have it. That is it. That is it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I can, let me see, can we turn this one off? Yeah, there we go. Yay! So here we have, isn't that cute, you guys? Look how adorable that is. 3 simple pumpkins with some sunflowers. Hey, sister! And some daisies and some greenery at the top. I might even go back in and add one down here like this. We'll see. Thank you, everyone. So, thank you, everyone. If you want to grab one of these for yourself or a gift for someone, I put the link up top. If you want to join my free group, that link is up top as well. I do a free painting in there once a month, and that is tomorrow night this month. Have a great day, everyone. Love you guys.